Hi everyone, it's Kathleen. In today's video, we'll cover how to get into crow or Bakasana pose. It's a really fun arm balance that you can practice at home, and I hope this tutorial helps you out. Also, I'm super excited. My 30-day yoga challenge is out into the world. You can get more information from the link in the top right corner of my channel. I hope you enjoy. If you have blocks, they can be helpful for getting into crow pose. There's a couple of different ways to get into it. I'll show you my favorite way and then give you a suggestion for another one. But the first step is to think about your fingers, your hands. So your hands are going to be shoulder width distance apart. If you feel your shoulder blades, that's where you want your hands, but on the earth. Spread your fingers wide. The wider your hands, the more surface area you have to balance on. So if your hands are together like this, it's a little bit harder. If you spread them out wide, you can distribute your weight a little bit more. And then think about your fingertips as brakes. So when I'm in crow pose, my fingertips are gripping the mat. My fingernails actually turn white because that's how much I'm using them to keep myself from falling forward. So plant your hands shoulder width distance apart, spread your fingers wide, and then come up onto your toes. Walk your toes in towards your wrists. Snuggle your knees onto your upper arms. The higher they are, the easier this will be. If right away you're like, this hurts my upper arms, this doesn't feel good, I can't move forward, you'll bring your knees to the outside. It's a slightly different variation, and you'll squeeze your knees inward so your inner thighs really turn on. That way you're not putting weight into your upper arms if that's giving you discomfort. So knees to upper arms or knees to outer arms. Gaze forward. If you drop your gaze towards your toes, which is what a lot of people want to do when they're starting out, you're more likely to tumble and do a somersault. So gaze forward. Now pull your core in. Core is super tight, pelvic floor is super tight. Notice right away all of your weight is in your toes, your feet. So from here, you're going to gaze forward, slowly shift weight into your hands. Now you still have weight in your toes, about half your weight in your hands. See how this feels. Might be a little scary. Maybe this is where you're at. Or shift even further forward, more weight in your hands, less weight in your toes. Look where my elbows are. They're right over my wrists, so we're stacking our joints. From here, fingertips grip the earth. Maybe you lift one foot. Belly's in tight. Maybe you lift both feet. Now, some things to consider. My upper back is really rounded here, and my core pulls up and in. So you want your elbows right over your wrists, upper back rounded, belly in tight, gaze forward. So hands to the earth, start to shift weight forward, get your elbows right over your wrists, look forward, round your upper spine, kind of like when you're doing your cow cats. It's the cow variation. Lift one foot, see how that feels. Lift both feet, see how that feels. Now, if that's really frightening, you can use a block to rest your forehead. You'll place your block in front of you far enough forward so when you roll forward, that's where your forehead lands. If it's too close, your forehead's going to be in front of your block. So from here, hands to the earth, knees to upper arms, look forward, shift forward, maybe forehead to your block, lift one foot, lift the other foot, and then see if you can rock weight back to your hands, hover your forehead a little. The other option is to bring a block back in space, and your block will be for your toes. So toes to your block, get your hands to the earth, and then plant your palms, knees to upper arms, start to shift forward. So this just gives you a little more height on your feet to start. Belly's in tight, maybe both feet lift. You can certainly use two blocks at the same time, one for your toes, one for your forehead. And if you fall, it's usually not the end of the world. Sometimes it's scarier just anticipating the fall than actually falling. So if you do fall, notice that it's not so bad and then try again. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below. Good luck and thanks for joining me.